Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Nathan, as you know, natural gas plays a large role in Ukraine's energy sector. Has the DFC provided support to Ukraine's natural gas production and pipeline infrastructure?
So far, we've not had opportunities to do so. The other area that we'd be very interested in energy in Ukraine is helping with the nuclear sector, given that's really one of Ukraine's strong competitive advantages.
So, going to your point, we're having both nuclear and natural gas. What are the next steps that you may be able to do and to provide that type of assistance in a predictable way?
Well, you know, we are in discussions with the electric utility of Ukraine to see if there's ways that we can help them. Of course, the challenge for us is that we're looking for private sector partners. Mm-hmm. The utility is a state-owned partner, but there's often opportunities to develop power generation projects where the state-owned utility is an off-taker and we wouldn't have to face them directly. But we've been working closely with them because Ukraine is in the position where it should be a natural energy exporter to Europe. In fact, on February 24th, 2022, right before the full-scale invasion, they tested their ability to export to Romania electricity. And there's no reason why, when the situation stabilizes and there's economic recovery in Ukraine, that they shouldn't be a net exporter of electricity to Europe.
No, we agree on that assessment. Have you seen China inserting itself into Ukraine's recovery and reconstruction efforts?
I haven't seen that so far. I've been in a number of conversations where the issue has been raised with Ukrainian government officials. I think there's a sense that on the part of the Ukrainians that they know who their friends have been during this conflict, and they won't soon forget that.
So you have been crystal clear in the dangers posed by potential Chinese influence in Ukraine's future to themselves.
Yeah, no, this has been a subject
because of the nature of that type of partnership.
Yeah, I mean, I think the demand signal is there for U.S. business, for European business, high standards, respectful, and high quality projects, technology, and equipment.
Thank you. Mr. Nathan, does the DFC have the resources that it needs to compete better against state-subsidized Chinese firms, broadly speaking?
Well, you know, I think head-to-head competition in that way is pretty difficult for us because we're not going to cut corners. We're going to be respectful of local laws and conditions. We're keeping to high standards, and we're looking for commercial viability in the projects that we do. If we're facing competition that is not as concerned about any of those issues, it's difficult to compete directly. The thing that we need is partners who recognize the long-term value proposition of what we offer and the competitive nature of that.
So speaking of partners, would the DFC benefit from greater participation from the State Department, where specifically the active participation of the Chief of Mission in a country that the DFC seeks to operate in?
You know, we benefit from that right now. It's very clear that what DFC has to offer is in demand by our embassies and the ambassadors in place. They understand that the value proposition of what we bring to the table is something that helps in the bilateral relationship that they're responsible for managing. So we, by and large, get very strong support from chiefs of mission, from their staffs, from USAID missions on the ground. And we work very closely with the State Department back here in Washington, D.C. Secretary of State is the chair of the DFC board. And we work closely with the State Department on issues around certification when we are going to make transactions in upper middle income countries. The State Department is responsible for that certification. We work closely on vetting and other issues in the analysis that leads up to our deal decision making.
And as you're going through this process, is there anything that Congress can do to improve that functionality through your own experience broadly?
Well, I look forward to discussions with you and this committee on reauthorization because I think there's quite a bit we can do to improve on the very good work that the BUILD Act did, whether that's in relation to increasing the overall portfolio size at the pace of activity we're doing right now. We're going to hit the $60 billion total maximum contingent liability total portfolio cap quite soon, and I think it would be important to raise that to $100 billion or more. There's also issues related to our tools. I think Congress, whether it's equity or political risk insurance or loan guarantee authority, I think Congress intended for us to have broadly available tools, and there are some current restrictions on them that we'd like to see fixed. There's also a number of other issues related to our workforce and ability to retain and attract talent. That's important. The use of fees. In our appropriations bill for this year, we were able to use fees for transaction-specific costs. We'd like to see that made permanent. I think that'd be very helpful from the point of view of making us more efficient and effective for taxpayers.
Thank you for those recommendations, and appreciate all your hard work.
Thank you very
And I
much.
yield back.
Gentleman yields